You think you've seen it all, until the walls whisper your name and footsteps echo in empty halls. Tonight, we're unlocking the doors to South Australia's most haunted hotels. Are you brave enough to step inside? One, North Kapunda Hotel. Kapunda, you step through the creaking doors of the North Kapunda Hotel, and instantly, the air thickens. It's not just the weight of the town's dark past pressing on your chest. It's something else. Something watching. The bartender doesn't meet your eyes. She just mutters, "Stay out of the cellar." But of course, you can't resist. You find the narrow staircase leading down, each step groaning under your weight. The temperature drops sharply, and a rotten, metallic scent fills your nose. The kind of smell that clings to blood-soaked walls. This is where Jack the Strangler is said to have murdered a woman. Some say a prostitute who tried to escape his grasp. Her scream, they say, still echoes through the stone, and just as you reach the last step, you hear it. A faint gasp, a whisper right beside your ear. "Help me." You freeze. No one is there, but the EMF meter in your hand, borrowed from a ghost tour guide, spikes into the red. Later, reviewing footage from your phone, you find a shadow dart past the corner behind you. No footsteps, no wind, just a figure with no face, flickering like static. Locals swear they've seen doors slam by themselves. Glasses explode on the bar, and guests check out in the middle of the night, sobbing, trembling, refusing to say what they saw. And yet, you stayed, didn't you? Or was that a mistake? Chapter 2. The Edinburgh Castle Hotel, Adelaide. You didn't believe the stories, not really, but something about the Edinburgh Castle Hotel, its weathered brickwork, the way the shadows cling to the stairwell, pulls you in. You book room 12, the receptionist hesitates before handing you the key. "That one's popular with the spirits," she says, forcing a smile. That night, you lie in bed, eyes fixed on the antique chandelier above. It's still, silent. Then, at exactly 3:14 a.m., the air turns icy. Not cool, not drafty, icy. And then, the music. A faint, ghostly piano tune drifts down the hallway. You know every room is empty, you checked, but the melody plays on, slow and deliberate, a dirge. You step into the corridor. The tune grows louder near the stairwell. That's when you see her. A woman in a long white dress, standing at the edge of the stairs, motionless. Her face pale, eyes hollow. You call out. She doesn't move, but your phone, recording in your hand, glitches violently, the screen flickering with static. When you look again, she's gone. In the morning, you play back the recording. The audio picks up the music and a voice whispering, "He never came back." Locals believe she was a bride left waiting at the altar who threw herself down the stairwell in grief. Staff refuse to clean the second floor alone. Guests report being watched while they sleep, doors locking on their own, and the piano playing itself. But hey, you're still skeptical, aren't you? 3. The Old Adelaide Jail, the Barton. You swore this was just a tour, a bit of fun, history and ghost stories, nothing real. But the moment the heavy gates slam shut behind you, something shifts. The Old Adelaide Jail isn't just stone and steel, it's soaked in suffering. You walk the empty cell block, footsteps echo, yours, and someone else's. The tour guide stops near cell 14. "This one," he whispers, "belonged to Frederick Carr, hanged right here in 1927. He still walks this corridor, restless." You scoff. Until the lights flicker, until your flashlight cuts out. You try to laugh, but your breath fogs the air. It's suddenly freezing. You grip your phone tighter as you hear it, a dragging sound, slow and wet. coming from behind the closed cell. You reach for the handle, cold as ice, and push. Inside, nothing. Just chains hanging from the wall, and one is swinging, slowly, back and forth. Then, out of nowhere, a whisper directly in your ear. He's still here. You spin around, no one. But your phone screen now shows a blurry figure in the cell behind you, except it's empty. Later, in your bunk in the former sleeping quarters, you try to shake it off. But just before you drift off, you feel it, pressure on your chest, like someone sitting there, breathing. You can't move, you can't scream. You came for a tour. But the jail, it doesn't let go that easily. 4. Grand Hotel, Millicent. You check into the Grand Hotel just before dusk. It's quiet, too quiet. The kind of silence that feels watched. Room 7, second floor. The receptionist avoids your gaze when handing over the key. "Don't mind the crying," she says, then adds, "She gets lonely." At first, everything seems normal, until 3 a.m. That's when you hear it, a woman sobbing, not from the hallway, from inside the room, from the corner where the mirror hangs. You sit up, heart pounding. The mirror fogs slightly, as though someone is breathing on the other side. You step closer. There's a shadow, small, hunched, just behind your reflection. But when you turn, no one is there. The story goes, a young woman hanged herself in that very room after discovering her lover's betrayal. Since then, countless guests have heard her cries, seen her reflection linger longer than their own, and felt cold fingers brushing against their hair as they sleep. You try to leave, but the door refuses to open. It's not locked, it just won't budge. The sobbing gets louder, closer. It's now right behind you. You spin, nothing. And then, from the mirror, a single bloody handprint appears. No one believes you in the morning, but your camera roll tells a different story. One blurry photo you didn't take, of a woman in a white dress standing right beside your bed. You came to rest, but this hotel wants you to stay forever. So 5. The Crown Inn. Old Raynella. You didn't plan to stay the night, just a drink. A quick stop at the Crown Inn, the oldest surviving hotel in Old Raynella. But as the rain poured down, you accepted the key to room 3. It was only for a night. That evening, as you pass the hallway mirror, something catches your eye. A flicker of white lace. You turn, expecting someone behind you. Nothing. Locals whisper about a little girl in Victorian clothes, often seen near the bathrooms. Some say she died in a fire. Others say she was pushed. But everyone agrees, she's still here. At midnight, you're brushing your teeth when the door creaks open behind you. A soft laugh, a child's, echoes from the hallway. You freeze. In the mirror, a figure darts past the open door. Small, fast, barefoot. You grab your phone and snap a photo. But when you check, there's more than just the girl. Behind her stands a tall, dark figure, its face completely gone. You don't sleep. The lights flicker all night. A music box plays faintly from the wardrobe, though it's empty. At 3:07 a.m., your doorknob rattles violently. You rush to open it. Again, no one there. You're done. You pack and leave before sunrise. But when you get home, you find something chilling. Your phone, locked during the night, somehow recorded a video. It shows your room, dark, silent, and in the last few seconds, a voice whispers your name, twice. Six. Mount Remarkable Hotel. Melrose. The town of Melrose feels peaceful. Quiet streets, crisp mountain air. But inside the Mount Remarkable Hotel, the silence turns heavy, suffocating. You're the only guest that night, or so they told you. As you climb the stairs, a cold gust of wind pushes against you. The hallway lights flicker once, then go dark. You find your room by feel. The key jams, your fingers tremble. Something isn't right. They say a drifter died here, decades ago. No one knew his name. He collapsed in the hallway and was gone before help arrived. Ever since, footsteps echo down the corridors at night, heavy, slow, like someone dragging a bad leg. At 2:43 a.m., you hear it. Thud, drag, thud, drag. It's coming closer. You hold your breath as the sound stops outside your door. No knock, just silence. Then the doorknob turns. Not fast, not forced, just a slow, deliberate twist. You yell, grab the handle, fling it open. No one. But the hallway is freezing, ice cold, and the smell, wet earth and rust. You rush back in, heart pounding. On your pillow, a single muddy footprint, and then your phone buzzes, a new voice memo, but you didn't record anything. You press play. It's your voice, whispering, terrified, "He's inside." You never said those words, but now they won't leave your head. 7. Criterion Hotel, Gawler. The Criterion Hotel looks harmless by day, but once night falls, its walls remember. You arrive late, the sky already black. The bartender nods as you mention room 5, then quietly adds, "If you hear footsteps, don't open the door." You laugh, nervously. That night, the floorboards creak steadily, as if someone is pacing just outside your room, back and forth, over and over. You look through the peephole. No one. But the footsteps continue. They say a man in a long coat haunts this place, seen walking the halls at night, hat pulled low, face hidden. Some think he was a gambler who lost everything and died by his own hand in room 5. Others say he still searches for the man who cheated him. You lie awake, heart racing. Then, at 3:10 a.m., you hear it, a low, raspy whisper just outside your door. "I saw what you did." You lunge for the door, fling it open. Nothing. But your phone, charging on the nightstand, is recording, on its own. You didn't touch it. You play the clip. A man's voice, deep, shaking, repeats one phrase. "You can't leave until I find him." You pack in silence. You don't even stop at the front desk, but as you turn the corner one last time, you glimpse a shadow in the mirror, tall, hat low, watching. 8. Wheats Heath Hotel, the Barton, Adelaide. It starts the moment you enter the Wheats Heath Hotel. The hum of conversation fades. Glasses clink, but no one's holding them. And the bartender? He just stares at something behind you. You turn, nothing there. Yet the air feels off. Locals whisper about the woman in the bathroom mirror. Some say she was the wife of a former owner, murdered in the cellar during an argument no one talks about. Others say she still walks the hallway at closing time, looking for justice. You don't believe it until you visit the restroom, alone. You're washing your hands when the mirror fogs from the inside. Slowly, a word appears, drawn by an unseen finger. Day. Your breath catches. You spin. No one. Later that night, while filming the dim bar for a travel vlog, your camera pans right on its own. You replay the footage, and there she is, a woman in early 1900s clothing, staring directly at you through the lens. Pale face, lifeless eyes, standing by the cellar door. You rush to leave, but every exit is locked. Then, from upstairs, a loud crash, like a chair thrown, or a struggle. The bartender appears, face white. "She doesn't like people filming her," he whispers. You finally escape at dawn. But weeks later, scrolling through your footage, you find a final clip you didn't record. Just darkness and a whisper. You came back. 9. Stag Hotel, Adelaide. You arrive at the Stag Hotel for a casual stay. Right in the heart of Adelaide, it feels modern, alive, until you take the stairs instead of the lift. Halfway up, a sudden heat wave hits you. Not warmth, stifling, suffocating heat like standing in a fire. They say a blaze broke out here in the early 1900s. One woman trapped on the second floor screamed until her voice was gone. She didn't make it out, neither did the 2 children with her, and some say they never left. Your room is clean, quiet, but the moment the clock strikes 3:12 a.m., you wake in a sweat. Smoke. You smell smoke, but there's no fire alarm, no flames, just that sickly, choking scent. Then, 3 knocks, slow, rhythmic. You open the door, no one. But behind you, a child's laughter, soft and wrong, echoes through the hallway. You check the mirror. Your reflection blurs, warps, and behind your shoulder, a figure flickers. A woman, face scorched, arms outstretched, mouth wide in a silent scream. In the morning, the front desk shrugs. You must have stayed in room 23, the clerk says. They always return to that one. You leave, shaken. But later, you find your shirt smells of soot, and burned into your pillowcase, a handprint, small, charred, clinging. 10. The Seabreeze Hotel, Tumby Bay. You check into the Seabreeze Hotel on a whim. Coastal breeze, ocean views. It seems perfect. Until night falls. Your room feels colder than it should. You chalk it up to sea air. But at 2:11 a.m., the taps start dripping, slow, steady, despite being tightly shut. You wipe the sink. Seconds later, it's wet again. Then comes the whisper, just above your ear. Overboard. You freeze. Locals tell of a sailor who once stayed here, silent, brooding. He vanished one stormy night. Some say he jumped, others say he was pushed. But his room? Always cold, always wet. You step into the hallway. A trail of saltwater footprints leads toward your door. You follow them to the end of the corridor where there's only a window, locked from the inside. Suddenly, the lights cut out. In the pitch dark, you hear it. The sound of something dripping, closer, heavier, right behind you. You turn, nothing. But when the lights flicker back on, your bed is soaked, and scrawled on the foggy window, "Bring me home." You never open that window, but when you look again, it's open. Now that you've peered into the shadows of these spectral sanctuaries, tell me, which hotel would you dare to spend a night in? Comment below if you survived the experience.